So this has to do with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Now, Macklemore recently put out a song entitled...
Ryan Lewis, hold on, sorry. Which Ryan Lewis?
Ryan Lewis, he's a producer for Macklemore.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Ryan Lewis. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You were probably thinking of Ryan Leslie, I'm thinking, right?
No, when you said that, I was thinking of Ryan Leslie.
Yeah, exactly. But nonetheless, they put out a single entitled White Privilege 2, a sequel to the track that they did way back in 2005, actually. Now, basically, he's talking about a lot of stuff that has happened within the last year or so, as far as police brutality, Black Lives Matter movement, and what have you. So, a lot of people are saying how... I think not even a lot of people. I think he's kind of split in the middle with the black community. Basically, people saying how he's not being sincere with the Black Lives Matter movement and his acknowledgement of white privilege. Basically, they're kind of saying now he's using that as a come up. Now he was on Sway in the Morning this past week discussing that, and he says the following, and I quote: "I think it depends on where you go. I think in our community, a lot of people would understand the concept of white privilege and would end there in terms of recognizing it and being silent, being comfortable in your privilege, which is what I think we've done in the past 2 years. So I think that song is an attempt to participate in the conversation in an authentic way and sort of face the white silence that we're comfortable in." And then he also made another statement saying we can be silent in regards to white people not accepting their white privilege. We can be silent. We can sit back behind the veil of white supremacy and still be comfortable, but that's never going to change anything. We had to step up. And then in regards to the song itself, the inspiration behind it, he said, "I think that song starts out with the non-indictment of Darren Wilson and feeling that frustrations and feeling that. He continued on to say, "This is happening again and I can't believe it. I was driving my car and I was driving by the 9th Precinct in Seattle where they were starting to protest and I drove past. I drove to a meeting and I sat down in the meeting and I just felt like I needed to crawl in my skin and I was just not comfortable in his place. I parked my car and got into protest." That's where the song starts. So what's your take on this whole story with Macklemore right now?
I don't per se think that he's doing that, you know what I mean? I think, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's trying to just say something at the end of the day. So what would happen if he didn't say anything, you know what I mean?
There you go.
Acting like, you know what I mean, like nothing.
Like nothing's happening.
Yeah, like nothing's happening, right? So what are you going to say? He's saying something about it. You should,
exactly.
Appreciate it, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, I almost get sick of the criticism because, like, black people in America in particular, they always complain about how, you know, white people, like white rappers in particular, they're always talking about how, you know, they're profiting off of our sound, off of our music, and they don't do anything to help our communities. But then, flip side, you have someone who not only has a large platform, but he's using his platform to speak on these matters.
Yeah, exactly.
But then at the same time, it's like, oh, he's just trying to capitalize.
Yeah, still knocking him down.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you want? You don't want white rappers in your field. And if you do, you want them to talk about the stuff. But then when they do, you have nothing to say about it except, oh, he's just trying to use it for our platform.
Yeah, people can't be doing that. You need to stop doing that, man.
Exactly. You can't pick and choose, you know? But hey, that ain't none of our business, right?
I think she wants to say something about it too.
Can I just say, like,
go in, my dude, go in.
The problem with the situation that Macklemore has found himself in is there's nothing he can do that's right.
Mm-hmm. Keep speaking.
If he sits back and says nothing, he's not doing what's right.
Exactly.
If he joins the force to push the movement, people will look at it as he's using it as a stepping stone, and he's not doing what's right.
Exactly.
But I think what he needs to do, and I think this is the real problem. The real problem is we don't want to ever feel like he's getting the recognition for bringing a situation like this out into the public, because this has been here for a while. We have lots of people who have attempted to bring this topic up who have been unsuccessful. So for him just to make one song and all of a sudden overnight everyone's talking about it, I think will upset the people who've genuinely spent their whole lives fighting for the equality and the rights that he's just mentioning in this one song.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that he can do that's right.
Exactly.
But I think what's going to come of this, though, is exactly what's coming of it. People are talking about it.
Exactly.
So even if he is doing this for his own beneficial, you know what I mean, reason, it's going to benefit everybody because here we are sitting around talking about it.
Exactly. And I feel like people need to take perspective of the bigger picture, basically. Like in this type of situation, it shouldn't be about who started the movement or who came up with it first, basically. It's the fact that dialogue and conversation is being discussed and it's being exchanged. And I think that's the bigger picture that people have to look at. Like, you now have someone who's on the other side of the fence, so to speak, talking about it and is now raising awareness. This is what you've been wanting for the longest time. So now it's time to take advantage of that and roll with the momentum, basically.
Straight, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, you got to look at it at hindsight, right? Yeah. So can't just look at it from like a minuscule stethoscope in a sense, right?
Exactly.
But nonetheless, let's keep things moving.